Hey everyone. So I decided it might be fun. Let me get rid of this. Um, I just got a rush order. So I thought it would be fun to see how I design my shirts and like just see me work. Um, so let me open up the inspiration shirts. So she wants a shirt for the 100th day of school. So she sent me a picture of what she wants, and it is on Etsy, but I don't like to do that. I don't like to use already made SVGs. I prefer to, because I feel like I'm taking over somebody else's work, and I like to be the creative part is what I like. So I'm going to take this as inspiration and make it my own. So this is the inspiration shirt. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Try to make it so I can fit all this on one screen. Come on. That's as small as you're going to go. All right, whatever. Minimize this. I should have had this set up already, but I don't. Come on. Put this here. Okay, so let's get going. All right, the first thing I'm going to do, I already have a mask image. So I'm going to pull that in. All right, I'm not going to worry about size right now. I'll resize it later. Let's just make it big enough so I can work with it. Okay, that's good. All right, so let's do the text. I'm going to do the mask first. So 100. And then I'm going to go to word mark to see which font I want to use. The inspiration one. Okay, so it's a pretty bold font and so this is a sans serif. So it doesn't have, well, it's kind of a half serif, which means like, how do I explain this? It has the bridge at the bottom. I don't know if that's the correct term. And this part, so if it was completely a sans serif, it would just be the line going down. So this is like a half. Okay, well, we're not going to worry about that. That one looks kind of like it. I want a, oh, look, banana milkshake. I love that. Um, let's see. I saw one earlier. Oh, I like this one. All right, I'm going to do that one. So go back to design space. Oh, it's already on that. Okay, good. So we're going to do white. Move it over so I can see it. I'm going to bring the letter spacing in. Not that close. I'm going to end up respacing it anyway, but just to get it close. All right, then I'm going to ungroup. Place this where I want it. Make this bigger. And then I'm going to unlock it and drag it down. Stretch it a little bit. Just so it fits the mask shape more. Okay. The one looks pretty good as is. I'm going to stretch it a little bit so it matches where the bottom of this one is. I'm going to move this up a little bit. So I can move this up a little bit. Okay. I think that looks good. Where's my inspiration? They kind of cut it off. I don't want to do that. Okay. So what I need to do, I'm going to, instead of, oh no, I'm not slicing it. Okay, this is going to be a layered shirt because it's going on a teal shirt, and she wants this. Oops, undo. No, what the fuck is that? Undo. Oh no. How did that happen? Undo. All right, I'm going to group this before it goes wonky on me again. Up, group, so now I can move it around freely, and it's not going to go change size on me. Okay, she wants this pink. It's not going to be this color pink, but just for purposes of trying to get this right. I'm also going to change, I didn't show you how I did that. Down here, if this says blank canvas, I'm going to click on this, and then up here, you can change the color of the background. So I want to get it as close to the shirt color as possible because I'm going to send her a proof. That's pretty much the color. Like a mock-up of what it's going to look like. So I might have to change the pink color to be more like the vinyl that I'm going to use. But you'll get the idea. Originally, I was going to say that I was going to slice this 100 out of the mask because originally I was going to use a black shirt, but I think I'm going to keep it white. I don't know. It might be cool to see what it would look like. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted by text messages. Okay. So next, I survived. I survived. Okay, I do want a cursive font. So let's go ahead and go to Wordmark. I told y'all I use this all the time. I survived. Okay, I'm going to deselect all of those. Let's bring up the inspiration again and see what it is that she liked. This one's kind of cute. Um, this one's close. That one's really close. That might be the actual font. Let me see. That one, I'm just going to use that one. That looks perfect. And I'm in Cricut, so I didn't see what the name of it was. I'm all over the place, guys. August, June. Okay, let's move the letter spacing. Hope it's one that is, I don't have to do that. Why is that doing this? Oh my goodness. Okay, letter spacing. Okay, that's one that actually works great, but I'm not going to weld this yet because I'm going to curve it. So make it a little bit bigger. All right, and then we'll change the letter spacing again to make it fit more. All right, I'm going to curve it a little bit more. Oh, not that much. I think about there. That's too much. I'm a perfectionist, in case you can't tell. Okay, I'm turning it a little bit because I don't feel like it was doing it right. Okay, she wants black letters, so maybe I should do this black. Oh, I need to attach that. Okay, so I'm going to click on this. I'm going to attach it because otherwise it's going to scatter it on the mat. So I'm going to ungroup this really quick, move this down so I can grab these three, and I'm going to attach down here. And I'm going to change the color to black to see what she thinks about that. And then, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to send her two proofs. I drew a box around it, and I'm going to duplicate this really quick. Drag this over so I can't see it right now, but I can use it later. Okay, I survived 100 mass school days. I think I know that font for mass. And my battery's running low. Oh no. Usually when I plug it in, it dies. It restarts, but we're gonna try this. Mass. Okay, let's go to Wordmark again. Deselect this one, go up. I will know that font when I see it. Beechwood. Yep, that's it. Okay, let's change the letter spacing a little bit. Let me save this before, just in case my computer dies. Come on, save. I zoomed out of this the screen. You can zoom out and in like this. All right. I'm going to place it over here just so I can get the same width. Okay. And then school days. It looks like it's the same font. I'm getting texts like crazy today. What is going on? Okay. You know what? I think the I survived is the same font. All right, this one I don't have to curve or anything, so I'm going to go ahead and weld this. And then I never welded this, so let's see if I can change the font to be good. Yep, man, those fonts look a lot the same. Okay. All right, I want this bigger, but I can't change the actual font size, so I'm going to stretch it and see how that looks. All right, let's change the curve a little bit because it's a little bit too much now. I want it to be kind of close to the map, so that's why I keep changing the curve. All right, I like that. Whoops. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and weld that. Everything looks good. Everything's connected. All right, I'm going to save. Okay, so when I take a snapshot of it, I'm going to send it to her like this. I need to add the stars. The stars are going to be pink glitter. So let's just throw some stars in here. So I want to make this, let's see, let's just do a darker, different pink. That's a horrible pink. That's more purple. Okay. I'm just going to duplicate all these and keep changing changing the sizes. Let's put one there. We'll put one here to fill in the space. I don't like it up there, so I'm going to move that. Put one here. Let's put this right here. All right, one more. Okay, I lied. I'm going to put another one, a small one. right. Where'd it go? I don't know where that went. Small one right here. And I lied again. I'm going to put another small one right here. Okay, I think that looks good. All right, so what I wanted to show for this one is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to weld this to make it one single layer. And I'm going to put it over the mask. And I'm going to slice, well, let me make sure this is centered. Oh, shoot. All right, I'm going to draw a box around it and I'm going to do a line, center horizontally. All right, there we go. I don't like that though. I think it looks better like this. So it's a little off center. Okay, drawing a box around it. It's 2 layers, so I can slice. So I'm going to slice this. Get rid of this. And when I show her, I'm going to show her, let's group these 2 together. No, I'm not going to show her that because I don't like that. It doesn't look right. Okay. So we're going to show her that. But let me show you what else I'm going to do. I need to, I'm going to move these stars out of the way. I want to attach the mast in the school days so it stays in that place. I don't want to do all the black because I would be wasting vinyl if I did it that way. So I'm just going to grab these 2 and do attach. This is already welded, so this is going to be one piece after, as well. So I will just, that'll cut separately and I'll just place it where I need it. I can just place the 100. We've already attached it. So that's not going to be make a difference. So then I'm going to put this back where I want it and put the stars back where I want those. No, actually, I'm going to just cut these stars out separately so I can place them where I want them. But I do need to place them back so I can send her a proof. That was dumb. I should have done a snap before I did that. Duh. All right, we'll put one here. That one's too big for there, so let's put it right here. We'll put one right there. And finally, no, not finally, there's still more. Where should this go? Maybe right there. There's another small one. No, I don't want to make it symmetrical. Let's do it like this. Okay. So then I'm going to do my snipping tool. And I've already gotten rid of the grid lines so that I can show her what it would really look like. And I am going to draw a box around it to snap it. File, save as. I'm going to go to my mockups and do 100 days of mask school. All right, save that. I'm gonna email myself and then send it to her. So I will stop here. When I go to make it, let me just show you what it's gonna look like, because I will do a second video on how I actually prepare it. Okay, this is all connected. The 100 I'll have to place myself. The I survived I'll do myself. You can move things around on your mat. I'm a big believer in not wasting any space. So I'm going to kind of finagle this to make it work. And then, so it shows you the mask is going to be one color, and then the stars. I'm going to be using a scrap piece of glitter vinyl for this, so I'm going to move it. I know I have just a tiny bit. So I'm going to move this to where it'll fit what I have. Okay, so that's it for now. Okay, now that I've sent everything to my mat, I am getting ready to cut. You'll see that I do a little hack of putting multiple colors on one mat. I've put up to like 10 on one mat. And this is something that I can teach you in an intermediate class. It drives me nuts changing mats all the time. And so if it's little pieces, I will absolutely fill up a mat with multiple colors. So I'll show you that if we do an intermediate class. Okay, so I'm gonna get this cut. I've already cut the glitter for it, for the stars, and I cannot feel it or see it. I don't know that it actually cuts. What in the world? Oh, that's the wrong, no? That's the wrong one, that's why. It's right here. So for glitter, heat transfer vinyl, use the strong grip. Since it's thicker, it has to use more pressure. Make sure you can see this. So when you're weeding glitter vinyl, you're not going to be able to really see where it's cut. I've heard people put baby powder, dust baby powder on it. I've personally never tried that. I just kind of peel it and hope for the best. All right, so while that's cutting, oh, and this is a very helpful tool. I didn't just use it, but you put it on your finger while you're weeding, and so all the little pieces that you do, you put it in here. And then you can, it takes a while and you just empty it. All right, so now I'm gonna cut all these out. So this is why for multicolored shirts, I charge more, because it is actually a lot more time consuming. So we'll cut these out, and I stack them on top of each other. Just make sure that the sticky part is stuck to the non-sticky part. So this way, when I go to actually press the shirt, I just have a stack of them, and I figure out which one goes where. It's not an exact science. I could have attached all these in the place that they were on the canvas, so it would cut out exactly how I designed it, but that would have wasted a lot of vinyl if I did it that way, so I decided to do it this way. I'm all about conserving my vinyl, especially glitter vinyl, because it's so expensive. When you're doing heat transfer vinyl, you don't have to be careful about pulling it off the mat because it is so flexible. It doesn't matter if it bends. So like you see that, how it has a crease in it, that won't matter. And I did it. Nice. No, I didn't. Crap. Let's see how bad this is. Okay, so I call doing this like Russian roulette, because you got to line it up perfectly on your mat, on the software as well as on the mat itself. And this one was not a good one. I almost did it perfectly. Let's see how bad it is. Yeah. I'm gonna have to recut that. All right. I did end up attaching the 100 to the other black wording. Like I said, you don't really have to be careful with this. You just don't want it to stick together. Uh-oh. As I say that, I messed up. Let's see if I can salvage that. That should not have happened because it was welded. Interesting. I'll try to do that. Where? That's never happened. Okay, so that goes to show that I've been doing this for 3 years and I still mess up. All right, let's see if I can salvage this at all before I go weeding everything. Okay, this. Okay, this corner, that looks sloppy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out just the S. I'm going to cut out just the S so I can replace that. And then recut the mask. So I will be back. Okay, we're back to fix my mess ups. So let me show you how I'm going to do this. I'm going to select all that, all the stars, group them, and then hide them by touching the eye at the top where it says group. So that will hide them. I am going to select all this. I've already detached everything. I'm going to attach that. and I'm going to hit where it says attach. I'm going to hit the I to hide that. Okay, now that leaves me with this. I welded this. So I need to get rid of, I decided I'm going to just redo school altogether. Since the S is, it's supposed to be attached because it's welded. I don't want there to be a break, or I don't want it to be noticeable. So I'm just going to redo all of school. So I put a box over days so I can slice this away. And why isn't it letting me? Ew, computer, wake up. It's like not even seeing this. Where? Here, come on. Okay. Select that. Select that. Why isn't it letting me slice? Detach. Of course, it's the ones that are rush orders that go haywire. There we go. What? I've already saved all this before I went crazy undoing everything. So I'm not worried about this. I'm just trying to get this made. Okay, it's not letting me pick it there, so I'll do it here. Okay, I just want that. I'm going to go down, and whatever doesn't have an eye, I'm going to put an eye. I'm going to cover the eye. I need the mask. I'm saying all this is hidden, so let's just try to make it and see what happens. Okay, my computer's just being weird. Okay, so for this, what I'm going to do is do this. Press mirror. I'm going to see, okay, this goes to, I need to cut my vinyl. It needs to be 5 inches wide and 2 inches tall for the pink. No, for the black. The pink, I'm going to cut it to 5 and 8.5. 5, 8.5, and then 5 and 2. 5 and 8, 5 and 2. Okay. Back to the mat. Back at the mat. I've cut this out to those measurements, and now I'm going to cut. And I will weed while we're waiting. I find weeding very therapeutic. Oh, I don't need to worry about that because that's what I'm recutting. Those are big pieces to put in there, but what is that noise? Oh, my mat is bent at the end. I've been wondering what that noise was. One tip that I have that I've learned is when you're doing heat transfer vinyl, watch out, especially when you have random vinyl everywhere. Watch out for these. Sometimes you'll not even notice that a random piece of vinyl has stuck somewhere until it's on a shirt, and you've got to get it off by pressing the back of the shirt to heat it up. Okay, so, to be able to remove it from the front. So I'm cutting out this part that we're redoing, and I will just place it where it needs to go when it's time to press. All right, I'm gonna get this out of the way and work on this. I'm not being as rough with it this time. I learned my lesson. I will keep weeding and without taking off the stuff until I can't. Okay. Now we're going to switch gears and go to the heat press. Heat press is warmed up. Now it's time to actually put it together. So this is a layered project, but the bottom, this layer, I don't know where this needs to go in relation to the words. So I'm going to do my hand trick, 4 fingers, and I'm gonna eyeball because I've gotten pretty good at eyeballing the center. Okay, I'm going to do this. Now, I am going to take this and place it. Actually, this is an easier way to do this. Just put it down and make sure it's, okay, almost right. Down a little bit. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to do the trick again. About 4 fingers down. Okay, so now I'm going to peel off this top layer while keeping the bottom layer intact and stuck. All right, so when you're doing layering, heat vinyl shrinks when you put heat to it. So I want to press it for the least amount of time just so it'll tack down, adhere to the shirt. But I'm not going to do the full 15 seconds. So I have it at 325. Can't see it. 325, and it's set for 15 seconds. So I'm just going to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Swing it away. Peel it away slowly to make sure that it is in fact tacked down. Okay, I'm going to pull this out. Place this down. I still have more layers to do, so I'm going to do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that wasn't far enough down for the Y to adhere. But I'm pressing it again, so I'm just going to make sure that's positioned right. Put it over there. Place the spool that I messed up on. I want to make sure it's not going past this, so I'm just going to do this. Make sure it's lined up here. It needs to go down a little bit. Okay, that looks good. So now that I have that, I need to still press. I'm going to start putting the stars where I want them. Let's see, this is a small one, so this will go up here. Another small one. That needs to be a little bit bigger. We'll put one right here. I'm going to have to add some at the end. I'm going to have to do yet another layer because I can't place it where there's this transfer sheet. Do one right there. Give me the big ones. All right. We'll put that there. That there. Put this one up here. There's a lot of these stars. That's the same size. I'm going to vary the sizes. That there. All right, I'm going to save the other 3 that I have for over here. Since this is just raw vinyl right here, I want to protect it and make sure it doesn't stick. So I'm going to pull out my Teflon sheet, put that over it. I'm going to press this for 5 seconds just because it's glitter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. this away. For some reason, this transfer stuff is sticking like crazy to my shirt. That is the weirdest thing. I've never had it stick to the shirt like that. It's just a thing full of firsts. Okay, let's put these last stars on and be done with it. We'll put this here, and we have some little ones. I'll put this here, and finally a little one right here. All right, put this back on, and now, since this is the final layer, I'm going to do it for the full 15 seconds. So on my heat press, I hit the timer. Let me see if I can show you this. So it has the temperature at top and then the timer at the bottom. All right, now I press this to stop the beeping. Raise it up. Take off my Teflon sheet. I'm gonna have to spot clean that. There must have been something on either the press or the Teflon sheet. Okay. So we are done.